Okay, so today we're going to look at crime scene photography. Now, in the last episode we talked about depth of field. Depth of field is a consideration when it comes to crime scene photography as well. So envision yourself approaching a crime scene, and you are supposed to be creating a chronological pictorial of what happened during that crime scene. So the sequence of events. So initially your first photograph is going to be some identifier to say that you were the one that took the photographs, much like we've done with all of our other previous assignments. For this one here, now you need to have some setup photographs as well to articulate and show what the area looked like where the crime happened. So again, relating back to what we've discussed in lecture, we're going to just look at an area here. We've got this desktop here as counter surface is going to be our makeshift crime scene, obviously partly due to the pandemic, but this is the nature of things. So in order to set up the crime scene, you have to have some contextual photographs to show where that location of the crime scene relates to the general surrounding area. So if you've got, for instance, a street sign in close proximity to show the intersection and where that, we use that as a residence, for example, a residential break-in, where that residence is on the street. You may want to incorporate some streetscape photographs, taking photographs from a distance back from where that residence is, showing the street in its entirety, again, having a context of having the house in the subject house in the frame towards the side of the frame so that you can see where does it relate to the street. Doing a reverse photograph, going the opposite direction and take a photograph of where you were standing and what is behind you from the first photograph and showing that depiction from the opposite angle. Again, having the house in that image again as a reference. Then working your way around, so taking a photograph maybe of the front of the residence, showing identifiers, maybe a business name if it's a business, the address, maybe the family, if it's a residence, has a name sign out front, something to identify this house or differentiate it from other ones. Then if you have some idea as to what the path that the suspect has taken leading to the point of entry, take photographs, and we'll use a situation where maybe a rear door of the house has been kicked in or forced entry has been made. So access to that yard. So taking a photograph of the walkway leading towards the back of the house and then doing reverse photographs, again, showing your position and what is behind you from the previous photo. So just in a chronological fashion, working your way through having something from the previous photograph referenced in that current photograph, and again, continuing on in that format until you reach the point of entry. When you do reach the point of entry, then maybe looking at doing a mid-range overall and then a mid-range photograph of that point of entry, and work your way down to taking photographs if there are any signs of forced entry or any debris that's associated to it. Anything that would be of evidentiary value, taking it with a context of an overall mid-range and a close-up photo. Now, working your way into the residence, taking a reverse photograph from inside whatever room it is that access door leads to, and taking a reverse photograph showing the door from that reverse angle. So basically, systematically working your way through the house. I generally, if I knew the path that the suspect took, or if it was an isolated area that was attacked or breached, then I would work to that point and focus in on that area. If it's unsure as to what areas, maybe they were looking for other property or cash or anything else that might be taken during the entry, you may want to take photographs throughout the entire residence, again, as a representation of what it looked like. I always tried to follow a pattern going in a clockwise fashion, working my way around the residence. When you're doing photographs within the residence itself, within, say, a room where, let's say something has happened, maybe something's been broken into, there's damage, there's some type of a recognition that the suspect has been in there. So have photographs taken of the room from 4 different diagonal angles. So go into each respective corner of the residence of that room and taking photographs angling inwards towards the center point so that you capture the room in its entirety. Now, depending on the size of the room and the angle that you're taking the photographs from, you may not necessarily be able to visualize or capture in your composition everything of evidentiary value within that room. So you, in all likelihood, are going to have to take more contextual photographs than simply just the 4 diagonal areas of the room.